We've been discussing about the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This explanation about Tata Vichara and Rasa Vichara upon this verse. Tata Vichara is that Krishna is the supreme controller. And then the Rasa Vichara says that Krishna is controlled by Prema. Vraj the Vrajavasis. With their sickness moods. Loving moods. They consider Krishna as a family member. Bhagavan is performing pastimes as like a human being. The Vrajavasis don't want to accept that Krishna is Bhagavan. This is a special symptom of a Vrajavasi. They don't accept that Krishna is Bhagavan. Of all the opulence of Krishna that he manifested in Vraj, he didn't manifest in other places. What did he say? More opulence in Vraj than other places. More opulence is shown in Vraj than in other places. Krishna manifested all his opulence in Vraj, not in any other place. In the place he did not manifest so much opulence as like he has manifested in Vraj. The Vrajavasis have seen directly his opulence of Krishna. They saw his opulence. What is the opulence? His supremacy, Bhagavata. His prowess, his strength, all kinds of opulences. So the Krishna manifested all these in Vraj. In Vaikuntha and other places, Bhagavan is not manifesting all this. Still the Vrajavasis they don't accept that Krishna is Bhagavan and call him Bhagavan. But why not? God is the Vrajavasis, in their minds, they have one kind of samskar, impressions. They have deep impressions. I think Krishna has some mystic power, some supernatural power. They think, they understand in this way. Or they think like that Narayana might absorb in his body sometimes. That's why Krishna is able to perform great wondrous deeds. For example, lifting the gigantic mountain of Giriraj. Normal people cannot do this kind of thing. And for 7 days, 7 nights, a gigantic mountain. With the pinky finger of the left hand. This is a long of Sonam. I have. So Krishna lifted the gigantic Giriraj Govardhan in left hand, pinky. The Vrajavasis saw all this. Try to imagine. I cannot even lift 5 kilos weight or 10 kilos for a long time. Could you lift in your finger 10 kilos? Let's start by this point. Could you lift 10 kilos on your finger? But imagine gigantic Giriraj Govardhan, 21 miles of circumference, and also so high, 9 miles high and 21 miles circumference. And also full of trees, so many things on top. How did Krishna up to this gigantic mountain? Nowadays the scientists there's some machine to lifting rocks? To lift rocks. They use machines to lift rocks. So how did Krishna lift that mountain by himself? So the Vrajavasis saw this scene directly, they saw this. Krishna didn't use any machine or... Okay? How did he lift the mountain? A gigantic mountain. And also it was like so much wind that rain was about to start. The same cloud used in the time of annihilation of the universe. Imagine this kind of rain coming. How is the rain in the time of annihilation? Each drop is like the trunk of an elephant. Each drop of the rain, it's like the size of the circumference of a trunk of an elephant. So wind, everything. Vrajavasis, they saw with their own eyes, they saw this. So this is a plant. He's so powerful. But still, even great demigods, they are bowing their head at his lotus feet. But still, Vrajavasis, they don't want to call Krishna Bhagavan, not at all. Bhagavan is someone who has the 6 opulences in full. Krishna has such a beautiful form. Pede por favor Krishna Balaram o celular para o português. What can I say about the beautiful form of Krishna? If you put all the beauty of all the universe in one side of the scale, and the beauty, only one drop of Krishna's beauty in the other side of the scale, still not same. Like one drop of Krishna's beauty, so much more. So much more. Krishna is so beautiful. Again. Also, if you put all the knowledge of all the limited universe in one side of the scale, and in the other side of the scale, only the Gyan of Krishna, also his Gyan is much, much more incomparable. Vairagya also, he's completely detached. He's not attached to anything, Krishna. Attached to material things. Bhagavan has 6 opulence. Human beings, they cannot do that. He drank the forest fire, the banana. He drank fire. I know. The Vrajavasis are not ready to accept that Krishna is Bhagavan. Why? Because the Vrajavasis, they have one samskar, one impression, strong impression. Krishna is our family member. So they have a laukika-sat-bandhu-priti towards Krishna. One example is given. If your son becomes the president, the parents of the president will do obeisances to their son, even though he's the president? No. Maybe people of all the world will do pranams to him, but the parents will never do pranam to their own son. And they'll think, he's so small, like it's like, like he's naive, he doesn't know, he's like ignorant, he's like, like it's supposed for a child. Oh, he still needs to learn, like this. So everyone is praising their son, but the parents are saying, oh, our son is still so young, he doesn't have knowledge. Because the parents have so much love and affection for their son. Sneha. And because of this sneha, whatever they see, all the opulence they see in their son, they think it's nothing. Like the Vrajavasis also, they say. In the time of name giving ceremony, Gargacharya told, "Hey Nanda Maharaj, your son Narayana Samaguni, the qualities of Narayana enter inside your son." He didn't say, oh, our son is Narayana. No, they're not thinking this. But in Tata Vichara, Krishna is the main Narayana. In Brahmaji's prayers, also it's there. Krishna told. So Brahmaji started to perform many prayers. I tried, but Krishna said, I am a cowherd. I'm not your father. Why are you doing pranam to me? Krishna asked Brahma. I'm not your father. Why are you doing pranam to me? I am Brahmana. You are Brahmana and I am a cowherd. So according to the conceptions, the Brahmanas are higher than Vaishyas, cowherd. So why are you doing pranam to me? Krishna asked Brahmaji. And Brahmaji told, actually you are the main original Narayana. The Vrajavasis, they have one kind of impression. Which impression? Samskar. Krishna is our family member. And because of this, they are with this strong impression, they are completely related to Krishna with these strong impressions. Related like a sambandha, like a family member. For example, the friends think Krishna is our friend. They climb Krishna's shoulders. They say, "Who is you're not higher than us." The sakas of Krishna, they are always fixed in this Sai Bhava. This never changes. Nanda Jashoda, for example, they are so immersed in Vatsalya Rasa. Krishna is my son. So they are so immersed in his affection, like for their son. During the whole night, Uddhava was speaking with Uddhava wanted to establish that Krishna is Bhagavan. Bhagavan has no parents. Uddhava spent all the night, during a whole night, speaking to Nanda Maharaj. Uddhava, with his Gyan of the Veda Purana Upanishad, he wanted to establish that Krishna is Bhagavan. But does Bhagavan have parents? No, Shastra explains. Bhagavan has no mother or no father. Because he's the creator himself. Who could be the parents of Bhagavan? Narayana has no parents. People think Narayana is like God, the main God, and you see Narayana doesn't have any parents. Because Lord is the creator himself, Bhagavan. That's why in the Jashoda, in their heart, they had deep impressions, Gara Samskar. That Krishna is our son, is our own child. I give birth to him directly. I had him in my own womb. I breastfed him. Mother Jashoda thinks this. So actually this is called Sthai Bhava, a fixed mode that never changes. It never changes. If you say, like sometimes, like for example, Nanda Maharaj told Uddhava, Krishna, you said that Krishna is Bhagavan. Nanda Maharaj told Uddhava, you're saying that Krishna is Bhagavan. This is your own idea, like your own theory, your own idea. But feeling separation, Nanda Maharaj said, may I have my mind and my affection one pointed towards this Bhagavan, Krishna. Matira tira. So he used the word feet. May I have this affection and one pointed to the feet of Krishna, this Bhagavan. And the Maharaj spoke like this. But actually he spoke these words because he was feeling so sad by separation. Because Uddhava was insisting again and again, speaking the same thing. So Nanda Maharaj said, okay, you're saying, okay. Yeah, Bhagavan, okay. Sometimes in the separation time moments, they have some vision of some mood coming off. Ashwara again, manifest some Ashwara again, opulent mode of knowledge of opulence of Lord, but very little, in small proportion. Then it disappears again. One example is given. Imagine 100 liters of milk. You are boiling 100 liters of milk. And then starts a whirlpool in the pot when it's in the fire. So imagine if you throw one grass, like one little bit small grass, inside that pot. Because of the whirlpool, sometimes you see that grass, then sometimes it goes under the pot and disappears again, it comes to the surface. So this grass is like the Ashwara again. Sometimes it appears a little bit, then again disappears. Sometimes the separation mode. Sometimes this Ashwarya and also this thing about the supremacy of Krishna, Yogamaya makes it manifest a little bit. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti also explains that, or it's actually not the katha of Nanda Maharaj and the Vrajavasis. For example, to say that Krishna is Bhagavan, whenever they use this kind of expression, it's not the katha of the Vrajavasis. It's just something they heard and they just like repeating something they've heard. What did they hear? Some person says Krishna is Bhagavan, so they're only repeating. Just like, for example, Purnamasi Devi, many times she sits with the Vrajavasis and she tells them, Krishna is Bhagavan, why do you disturb him? Why do you chastise him? Krishna is not ordinary. Krishna is Bhagavan. Especially in the assembly of the gopis, sometimes Jogamaya Purnamasi, she says to the gopis, in the previous life Krishna was Ram. Sorry, in another life he was Bhamana avatar. So she mentions all the avatars to the gopis Purnamasi. Here in this, the Vraja gopis, they laugh. Come on, he's Bhagavan, what is this bullshit? He doesn't even have one symptom of being Bhagavan. Shastra explains, Bhagavan does not have 18 faults. How many? 18. Bhagavan doesn't have lust, no anger, no lobha, moha, mad, matsarja, no envy, not all this he doesn't have. But if you analyze, you see Krishna has all the 18 faults, the 18 from the 18 faults you can see in Krishna. Which faults he does not have? Come on, tell me. He's running behind the gopis. He broke the yogurt pot, clay pot, just to get a little bit of butter. He's dancing for the gopis, just to get a little bit of butter from them. Gopis give butter. Only to see butter, seeing butter, he starts like drooling, salivating so much. Moha, he has also mud. He always says this. So this is Lila Madhurja. And this is the specialty of the Vrajavasis. So what I want to say is that the Vrajavasis, in their minds, they have a deep impression. Ghar Sanskar. Krishna is a family member to us. And we are related to him with a relationship. We're connected to him in a relationship. Especially three relationships are there in Vraj between the devotees and Krishna. Friendship, Sakha, Vatsalya and Madhurya. Sakhas are climbing on the shoulder of Krishna and saying, you are not higher than us. We are on the same level. You see, when Krishna appears as Ram, Vibhishan and Sugriv, they were friends of Ram, made friends with Ram, but they would not climb on his shoulder, wouldn't give their own remnants to Lord Ram. What to speak of others? Even their own brothers like Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, they also would not give their own remnants to Ram. But we see in Krishna Lila, the friends of Krishna, they eat half of the fruit, half of a fruit, and they give that fruit to Krishna and show, oh, look, this fruit is delicious, try it, have it. Then they give the half eaten fruit to Krishna. Sakya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, Nanda Jashoda. Krishna says, my mom Jashoda, she takes care of me with so much love and affection, seeing me as a son. Bal Gopal cannot even turn on the bed alone. Mother Jashoda is turning him on the bed. Just like a normal baby boy. Crying, meh, meh. Just like kids cry. This is Leela he's performing. In Madhurya Ras, the gopis, they speak so many abusive words towards Krishna. Lakshmi would never ever speak such words. But the gopis, they are speaking these words a lot, freely. Abusive words. So the gopis also sometimes in the separation mood also, they say that Krishna is Bhagavan. But whatever they speak in during separation is not their own speech. It's the speech of whatever they have heard from someone, that's what they're repeating. Vishwanath Chakravarti gives an example. Imagine a son from a poor family. So in the time of his wedding, he's all ornamented with golden ornaments and very beautiful dressed up. So at that moment, he rents the jewelry. He rents the jewelry for his wedding ceremony. In the time of the wedding, he's so beautiful, using golden ornaments, like real gold ornaments. But after the wedding is over, on the next day, he has to return back that jewelry he had rented. So whenever the gopis in separation would call Krishna as Bhagavan, it's not their own speech or their own talking. Things they had from Purnamas, they're just repeating. You are not only the son of Mother Jashoda. You are the super soul, and you came into this world by the blessings of Brahma. Brahma prays for you to come to this world, to protect the world. That's why you came. Bhikkhana means Brahma. Brahmaji prays to you. That's why you appeared in this material world. When the world, Prithvi Devi, was heavy with the burden of the sins of the demons, Prithvi Devi couldn't take it any longer, so she went in the form of a cow to the demigods. Please protect me from these demons. Kill the demons. The demigods told Prithvi Devi, you can't do anything. This is what to do. So the demigods came to Brahma and prayed. They prayed for some help, and Brahmaji said, I also can't do anything. So Brahma brought Prithvi plus demigods, and they came to the banks of the Kir Samudra, where Swayam Bhagavan is Vishnu, 4 arms Vishnu, Shankar Chakra Gada Padma, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, Kirodakashaya Vishnu, he's in the ocean of milk. and he's in yoga nidra there, like some divine sleep. And Brahmaji starts performing prayers to him. Hearing the prayers of Brahmaji, he wakes up from the yoga nidra. Why have you come? Then Brahma told everything to Vishnu. Prithvi Devi is heavy with the sins of the demons. She cannot take it any longer. So please kill the demons and deliver this burden of the earth. Relieve the burden of the earth. Then at that moment, Bhagavan, Vishnu, plucked out 2 hair from his head, one white hair and another black hair. Then he said, my master, very quickly, is going to appear in the material world, and he will relieve all the burden of the sins on the earth, and he will kill all the demons. Hearing the prayer of Brahmaji, then Prabhu came from the eternal abode. The gopis mentioned this in the verse of the Gopi Gita. But actually Purnamasi had told this to them. Vikana means Brahma. Because of the prayer of Lord Brahma, you came here in this world. The gopis are saying, you are the supreme controller of all universes. You are the witness of everything that's taking place as well. You are the protector of everyone. You manifested in our dynasty. Actually, mercifully you did that, by your mercy. So this is the meaning of the shloka according to opulent note. The gopis are saying this. The gopis are saying this. This is not their own words. This is called what is called? It's like joking words. Bengarta. Do you understand? Means joking. Irony? Irony? Irony, English? Like joking. You're saying, oh, Panditji. Sarcastic. Sarcasm. 2 words. Panditji. What does the meaning of Panditji? Those who are very intelligent, that they have knowledge, someone who has knowledge of all Veda Purana Upanishad is called Pandit. And also one person who is not Pandit, also we call Panditji. So if you call a person who doesn't have knowledge, if you call him Panditji, this is sarcasm, because the person doesn't have any knowledge, he's a completely foolish, like unintelligent. So 2 words. Those who have a lot of knowledge about the Vedas are called Panditji. He knows Veda, Purana, Upanishad, all the Shastra, he knows everything. So he's a Pandit. And someone who doesn't have knowledge of Veda Purana Upanishad and you call this person Pandit, this will be sarcasm. Then the person is thinking, oh, I'm Pandit, so nice. But he didn't even realize that they were joking with him. Irony. Does it exist? No. Sarcasm. Okay, so gopis, you can. So looks like this opulence mood. One meaning is coming from this, but another meaning is like sarcasm actually. Oh Krishna, Nakalo Gopika, you didn't take birth in our dynasty. Kalo means certainly. Gopika means you are not the son of Jashoda. Means you are. So first saying you are not the son of Jashoda. You are Bhagavan. You don't have parents. You are always watching the unlimited universes, but for the another meaning is you are not looking at the unlimited universes. So in the Gopal Gita, the verses can have many meanings. One meaning in opulent mode, another in sweetness mode, and the sweetness mode explanation is full of sarcasm. In the Madhurya mode is full of sarcasm. You are a Pandit. Two meanings. You are really a Pandit, or you are not a Pandit. So how you're speaking depends on how you're speaking. You are beautiful. Wow, you're so beautiful. You are not beautiful. It depends on how you speak. So the gopis here actually, when they're saying this, Nakalo Gopika. Nakalo Gopika generally could mean you are not the son of Mother Jashoda, but actually meaning is yes, you are the son of Mother Jashoda. Because all the qualities the Mother Jashoda has, you also have the same qualities. What the gopis are saying. You are not the son of Mother Jashoda. You are the son of Devaki. Actually, when the gopis call Krishna Devaki Nandana, Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad explains. They're actually calling him Jashoda Nandana. The name Jashoda. Nanda Maharaj's wife, Jashoda, has two names, Devaki and Jashoda. It's like you have two names. We can call you by any name. You are only one person. The wife of Nanda Maharaj, Jashoda, has two names, Devaki and Jashoda. Whenever the word Devaki is used, actually the gopis are actually calling Krishna Jashoda Nandana. So we're speaking this because the Vrajavasis, they have aghar samskar, deep impressions. That's it. So there are three rasas in Vraj: Sakha, Vatsala, and madhurya. And Shingaras, there is Swakya and Parakya in the conjugal mood, wedded and paramour is higher than wedded love. Parakya is hardly the Swakya. You can only see these in a subtle way also. Sanketa Bhav. Swakyat. Some gopis also have some Swakyata Bhav, some wedded mood in their heart. Some gopis. Some gopis have the mood that to think Krishna is their husband. Some gopis, they Manve. In their mind they married to Krishna. Or maybe they married to Krishna in a Gandharva way, like exchanged garlands. Puranas explain this. Very subtle conceptions are there. But Parakya is the more prominent. And is the Nitya Samskar, eternal impressions in the heart of the gopis. Paramour moods. All these Parakya gopis, Parikapta gopis, they have this deep impression we are Paranari. Paranari means we are married, we belong to someone else. Our relationship with Krishna is... He's not our husband, he's our lover. But in this world, this kind of thing takes you to hell. Narakgami. It's something that takes you to hell. Paramour mood. स्वर्ग से लेकर के नहीं Parakya Bhav. This Parakya Bhav is not present, not even in Vaikuntha. Lakshmi Satyabhama also don't have. Lakshmi don't have Parakya Bhav. They have Swakya Bhav. But in Vraj, the gopis, they have this mood, paramour mood. We are married, they think. Actually, the gopis, they are so absorbed in bhav that they don't even think about if they are married or not. They're not even thinking. Just to show to the people, Jogamaya creates this kind of wedding. Just so that Krishna can relish Parakya Ras. 4 things are important for relishing Parakya Bhav. What are the 4? In the transcendental world, and only in Goloka Vrindavan. In other places this does not take place. What are these 4 things? Vamyata, Durlabhata, Nibaranata, Prachana, Kamakta. These are the 4 infallible weapons of the Parakya Bhav. Because of this, Krishna is completely controlled by the gopis. In Swakya Bhav, this is not there, so it's not possible for Krishna to be controlled. There are 360 kinds of gopis described in the scriptures. And the gopis who have Parakya Bhav, they are special. And there are 96 types of heroes. But the Tirunarinayak hero is the best or most attractive or topmost hero. Swadhina Bhakti Kanaka. And from all the moods of heroines, the mood of most special mood of heroine is Swadhina Bhakti Kanaka. Those who are reading and studying, they understand. Otherwise, hard to understand. When Srimati Radhika is in the mood of Swadhina Bhakti Kanaka, then Krishna is in the mood of Dhir Lalit Nayak. So how many kinds of heroes and how many kinds of heroines? So 96 types of hero, Nayak, and 360 kinds of heroines, Naika. And the topmost hero is Dhir Lalit. So topmost hero is Dhir Lalit. Como é que chama no? Dhir Lalit Naik. And Radharani heroine is topmost mood is Swadhina Bhakti Kanaka. The heroine Naika will say, put alta on my feet, shringar me, do my decoration, and then the Krishna will do everything. All these moods, witness moods. So Bhamyata, left wings mood, Nibaranata, obstacles of the superiors. Nirlabhata, it's very rare. Rachanaka Makta, the love is hidden. These are the 4 infallible weapons of the Parikya Bhav that controls even Bhagavan Shri Krishna. To control Shri Krishna, there are these 4 infallible weapons. Very powerful weapons. In this world, leave it. It's useless. If the wife becomes a little bit like some sulky mood or something, husband slaps her 3 times and all the sulky mood goes away. So the wife cannot do sulky mood. Vamyata, like left wings mood. But the gopis did man, and Krishna goes to them and apologizes. Jayadeva Goswami in the Gita Govinda manifests these kinds of moods. Actually, if this priceless book Gita Govinda would not have been manifested by Jayadeva Goswami, this Bhava would not be wouldn't be able to have contact with this kind of Bhava. That's why Mahaprabhu is always remembering these shlokas from Gita Govinda. Swarupa Damodara Ramananda used to tell Mahaprabhu these verses from Gita Govinda. Mahaprabhu was staying in the Gambhira and he used to remember all these Bhava Madhurya, and according to the Bhavas of Mahaprabhu, Swarupa Damodara and Ramananda, they used to also manifest Bhavas according to the mood of Mahaprabhu. Topmost bhav of Srimati Radhika. Who could manifest it? If Mahaprabhu wouldn't have appeared, topmost mood of Srimati Radhika, who would have manifested it? What is the highest limit of the Prema of Srimati Radhika? Less limit of the love of Srimati Radhika. We cannot even imagine. They are like the obstacles of their superiors. They cannot go to meet Krishna. The meeting with Shri Krishna is very rare. So it's very, very rare for the gopis to be able to meet with Krishna. Why Krishna goes from one forest to another forest all the time? Why does he go for cow grazing? Krishna is going from one forest to another forest, actually to meet the gopis. So they go from one forest to another. He is the Supreme Lord. And Krishna is so eager to meet with the gopis. That's why they go from one forest to another. To cow graze is not the real aim. The aim is to meet the gopis. To play with the friends. Actually, Krishna plays with the friends, put them to rest, and say, oh, the rest here. Krishna tells the friends to take a rest. Why the friends are resting? Krishna brings Priya Naramasaka, like Madhumangal, and brings him to Surya Kunda. You know the story of the Surya Kunda. So cow grazing is only an excuse to go out. Then Krishna performs many kinds of pastimes. And sometimes they meet, sometimes they don't meet. Like Krishna and gopis. Jogamaya arranged that sometimes they meet, sometimes they don't. Something which is easily available, we don't give much value to that thing which is easily available. Huh? Like water, for example. It's abundant, so you're taking bath, shower. But if there's no water for 3-4 days, how you like suffer and give so much value to even one drop of the water? Like, summertime, for example. Sometimes if there's no water for 2 or 3 days, people are eager for and fighting even for one drop of water. They have so many lines on the roads, like if there's some distribution of water somewhere. Do you have water in your house? Nowadays, generally people they have in their house. How they call? Samaki? They have pump for water. But then if there's no water, how can you manage? So you have to spend so much money even for a little bit of water. So people go to the market and buy some stock of water. Those who have money, they sell 10 rupees water for 100 rupees. Even 1,000 rupees you would pay for that bottle of water. But those who don't have how to pay, then... So this is durlabhata. It's very rare. The hardest it is to get something, the more will be eager to attain that. So Brahmata, left wing smooth. Durlabhata, very rare. Nibaranata and Prachanakamakta. So Prachanakamakta. Kama means actually Prema. And I love that the gopis, they don't show their love they have for Krishna. They don't show like in front of others, like they don't show. The love is hidden. They don't show that they love him. Prema is so sweet. And also Prema is something so pure that the more you cover it, the more it will be sweet, more madhurya. That's why Vishwanath Chakravarti in the book Prema Sampurna describes this. Prema is something that only the lover and beloved they know, because it's in the heart, in the cave of the heart of the lover and the beloved. It's not manifesting outside. In this world we say, I love you. What is the meaning? I don't love. Only when something comes out of your mouth, there's no value for that. And also say, I love you. What is love? Then the next day you'll say, I hate you. And the third day, I leave you. And the fourth day, I'll kill you. So what is the love? Come on. Actually, there is no prem. Prem is such a thing that stays in a very hidden way in the heart of the lover and the beloved. So in this world there's only lust, no love. Where there is their own happiness, bodily happiness, is lust, sense gratification of your own senses. But if you to give happiness only to the senses of Krishna, this is Prema. So we're talking about Shringaras. Adiros, original Ros, is the Shringar Ros, conjugal mellows.
Depois da assim, Dritida, Vitvasim, Virala, Nayak, Prakashata, Naika Kakyata, Vishnu,
Swadhin Bhatika.
Swami,
Bhatika. So Krishna is the Adhar, the basis of all the rasas. He's Rasa Swarup, the embodiment of the ras, and at the same time he relishes the rasa and makes his devotees relish the rasa as well. Krishna is the Asray and Vishai, both object and shelter of the rasas. But still he is fixed in the mode of Vishai, object of love. And gopis and all the associates, they are Asray Tattva, shelter of the love. So there is one Vishaya Tattva and also Asray Tattva, object of the love and shelter of the love. This is very deep subject, it's hard to understand. Also, love has no reason. Prema is something that manifests automatically in the heart, spontaneously. Still here, there are three ways how Prema appears. Darshan Jata Prem, Shravan Jata Sahaj. Darshan Jata Prem. Sahaj. So one is Darshan Jata Prem. Develop Shravan Jata Prem means you hear about Krishna, you hear about glories of Krishna, then you feel Prem for him. For example, Rukmini. He heard the glories of Krishna. So Rukmini wrote a letter for Krishna. The food of the lion today is being fed to the jackal. Jackal. Krishna, please help me. Rukmini heard the glories of Krishna. Then she developed Prem. This is Shravan Jata Prem. Second, Darshan Jata Prem. When Krishna entered in Mathura, seeing Krishna, Kubja, the hunchback woman, she became so intoxicated by love. So Krishna went to the house of Kubja. They had some loving deals. But the gopis, it's called Sahaj Gopi Prem. Sahaj. Sata Siddha, Janma Siddha. Cannot be established by anything. It's like something natural and automatic, spontaneous. Hotspot, please. Wi-Fi today is not good. No, the hotspot is not good. For this one, data. But still, Jiva Goswami says that according to the pastimes of Zambi, when did the gopis develop this strong love for Krishna? That day that Mother Yashoda had bound Gopal, and when Krishna looked like he was so helpless, so the gopis developed that prem for Krishna at that time. Many origins of the prem. Prem ki utpatti. Yeah. So the prema that develops by hearing Shravan Jata, by seeing Darshan Jata Prem, and Sata Siddha, spontaneous Prem. And the Prem of the Sakhas, Vishramba Prem, Vivekshana Prem, Vivekshana Prem. So other three divisions of the Prem. Vishramba Prem, Vivekshana Prem, Vivekshana Prem, and third, Utkantamai. Utkantamai Prem. I always speak, but you forget. It's good to remember something. You're hearing from one ear, and everything's coming out in the other ear. And I'm speaking 1,000 times the same. If you remember, then I'll feel happy to speak about if you remember what. But if you only get 0 marks in your tests, in your exam, then what to do? So you should remember. You can write it down. Write everything down. What did I say? How many kinds of love? One is Vivekshana Prem. Vivekshana means, for example, the birds of Vrindavan. They don't have this knowledge. Like Krishna goes from one forest to another forest. In the trees, they cannot move. So they think Krishna is coming. Krishna left Vrindavana, went to Mathura, but still the trees of Vrindavana, they are thinking Krishna is coming. Because Krishna does not go to the same forest every day. Sometimes he goes to Bandirvan, sometimes to Belvan, sometimes to Talvan. Krishna does not stay always in the same forest. There are 12 forests. Also 12 sub-forests, Upavan. So the trees, they think, oh, Krishna is coming. They don't even know that Krishna is not in Vrindavan. So this Prema is called the Prema of the creepers, trees, animals. Their Prema is Bibhekshano Prema, a love without discrimination. But the Prema of the Sakhas of Krishna, like Subal, Madhumangala, now except for Madhumangala, Subal and others, they have so much intimacy. They are so intimate, they think Krishna is also in Braj. It's called Vishambra Prema. There is so much intimacy. You think, oh, Krishna is still here, he's with us. And third, Utkanta Prema. In Utkanta Prema, this Prema cannot be pacified by words or anything. Only can be pacified if you see directly Krishna. If they want to see Krishna directly, they want to touch Krishna directly. Krishna left Vrindavana, went to Mathura. Then after Krishna sent Uddhav to pacify the gopis. But the love of the gopis grew more instead, like the separation mood grew more. The example is given. If there's a little bit of fire, if you put water, it will be extinguished. But if there's a gigantic fire going on, like forest fire, for example, because of the rubbing of the branches of the trees, a fire ignites, starts in the jungle. So how to put off this fire? If you put some water, the fire will grow more. And you know, the wind also moves with the fire, like the fire is taken by the wind. So the speed of the fire becomes so quick, and all the forest becomes full of fire. The fire spreads through the forest. All the trees starts burning, becoming ashes. You cannot extinguish this kind of fire with water. कैसे बुझी? कैसे नहीं?
Cannot be done.
How to extinguish? So how to extinguish this kind of fire? Because also the wind is there, so strong wind, and because of the wind, the fire spreads very quickly everywhere. So you know what do? They cut the jungle like in this outer circumference. They are cutting from outside. At least the other part will be protected. So whatever there is the fire, they make like a circle of they cut like in a circle shape. You understand? They cut the forest out from outside so that the fire will not spread to other parts of the forest. Because maybe we'll arrange some water to try to extinguish the fire, but the fire speeds so quick, so they have to go a little bit far, maybe 50 miles far, and they have to make like a field or something, so that the forest will not spread to the other parts of the forest. What I want to say is that the separation mood of the gopis only can be pacified when they directly see Krishna. This is called Utkantamai Prema. Whatever you say, for example, Uddhava came, Baladeva also came in Braj. Uddhava came from Mathura, Baladeva came from Dwarika. But still, the love the gopis had for Krishna, separation was only increasing more and more. Because they want to see Krishna directly, they want to meet with Krishna directly. This is what they want. Vira, huh? Manifest the sweetness of the meeting. There's so many explanations. How can you remember all these? You forget. Understand? After the end of the Harikatha, you go outside. Gurudev, I'm giving your donation back. Which donation? What have I heard? And I'm giving back to you. Isn't it? What have you heard? Whatever you heard, I'm giving back to you. Isn't it? First, you're not even hearing, first of all. And whatever you heard, you said, Gurudev, I'm giving to you. Then you throw away everything. No. And she's feeling sleepy.
What do they do? One is darshan, shravan, and
Sahaj.
vivekshana.
Sahaj. Different divisions.
What was the third? Darshan, shravan, and
Sahaj Prem. So you like to hear, but you will not remember. That's why you should hear again and again. Then you will be able to remember. So chanting holy names slowly. This is called, like you have to remember, then one day holy names will come in your tongue. When you chant pure holy names, hearing the Harikatha again and again, chanting holy names slowly again and again, and remembering this katha, one day pure holy names will appear in your tongue. And you're chanting, okay. It's like dry holy names. You understand? Feel like dry. For example, if you eat rice and chapati without dal, without sabji, there's no sabji, no dal, only rice and chapati. This is dry food. Yeah, you have to fulfill your stomach, okay. You are full, but it's not tasty. And to make very nice food, you have to make also sabji. Why do we make this sabji? You tell me. Just for the taste of the tongue. Ji haan sab. When we eat, we want to taste good things. That's why I make many sabjis, sweets. So they give you so many kinds of sweets and sabji. But if there's no chapati or rice or whatever you generally like sweet, also you feel like you didn't eat anything. On the day of Ekadasi, you eat so many fruits, everybody gets so many fruits. Still you say, oh, I'm fasting. But you got so many fruits, so many things. You're fasting, yeah? This is true or not? We call the Ekadasi Upavas, Falahar, eating fruits or the food allowed for Ekadasi. But what didn't you cook that day in your house? No rice, no roti. Maybe even you did roti, but with buckwheat flour. I don't know, I'm also fasting. Even if you ate the roti made with buckwheat flour, you still feel you're fasting. Isn't it? Oh, I fasted. Strong fast. You spend the whole day eating. You didn't eat only two things: bread and rice. Chapati and rice. Oh, I'm fasting.
And what was the third category? What was Vishwaramba, Vivek Shunya, and third was?
Utkantamayi. Janmadasi, Janma Adi As. So the realm of Prema has meeting and separation. Meeting and separation. Prema is like a kingdom, Samraj. The kingdom, there's kingdom. It's like the king and the emperor. So imagine the property of the emperor. I don't know, like superlative of kingdom. So the king will rule in that kingdom. But some Raja is like an emperor who is subduing many other kings. So, and he controls all them. This is called Samraja, like empire. So there is the kingdom and the empire. So it's an empire. Prema is like an empire. Prema is like an empire. Prema has many levels. So one of them is like meeting and separation. Sambhog and Vipralamba. How many kinds of Vipralamba? 32 kinds of separation and 32 kinds of meeting. So combined, it's 64 also kinds of. There are 64 kinds of meeting, separation, and meeting. This is the empire of Prema. So how it's formed the empire of Prema with Viraha, Milan, Viraha. Normally we say there are 4 kinds of meetings, 4 kinds of separation. Generally we say like this: Purvarag, Man, Prabhas, and Prema by Chitta. And also 4 kinds of meeting. Sankipta, and Sampurna. So one by one then becomes 4 times 4 becomes 16. So then multiplied by 2 then becomes 32. 32 kinds of meeting, 32 kinds of separation. So this is the empire of love. Like a king. A king who controls many other kings, and he subdues all the other kings. This king is called an emperor, Samrat, like the Muslim empire. The word is used, Samrat, the British Empire. British government, they used to control the whole earth. control the whole earth. It's called British Empire. Anyway, examples. So the empire of Prem Samrat. That's why you should study the book Prema Sampurt. If you read this book, you understand what I'm speaking about. But you don't even have time to read. What can I do? You have time. Where is your time? I think 3 times or 2 times I read the Prema Sampurt. Like reading and explaining about the book maybe 3 times.